All right, hello and welcome to an unexpected third part of the Honda Cb360. I think hopefully going to be able to get a title for it. I was able to go to the DMV. They accepted the bill of sale and told me to go get a VIN inspection, so they gave me a piece of paper. But I read through it, and what we got to do for the inspection is we got to make sure this thing is sound, at least safe. Mechanically, visually, I don't think it matters. I'll like paint or whatever. But things we got to do, we got to get spark plug ends, we got to get the brakes working, we got to get lights. Only the rear brakes work, and those are wearing out. Got to fix the fuel tank leak. Just change the fender out because you need to have perfect fenders. New tubes, tires. Make sure all the electrical works. We got to get the horn working. That's the list of things we got to do. I got some parts on the way. I got a master cylinder on the way because this one is foobar. Ooh, we got to fix the throttle. The throttle is a bit strange. Anyway, enough telling you what we're going to do. Let's actually get started and doing stuff. And I'm sure there's stuff I forgot. I just thought of one in my head that I forgot, but we got to start. I decided to just take the whole wheel off since I'm going to change the tire anyway. There we go. Bike tire is out. Now I can really attack this. See if we can't maybe bang this thing out of here. That's one of them stuck screws. Okay, drilled a little hole in it. Stuck some vice grips on it and tapped it while turning, and she's a coming out. I did use a little bit of heat as well. Now there's a messed up screw. Uh-oh. The cable seems fine. It should be spinning. Oh wait. It's spinning. Okay, so this is off of that Suzuki I got outside. This is its old speedometer cable. And I would like to see the speedometer works. No? There it goes. Nice. Speedometer works. Does the mileage go up at all? Yep. Trip counter seems to be stuck. Trip counter's working. Cool. Can't spin the mileage backwards. That's for sure. Can you? Nope, doesn't let you. Not that I would, just curious. Anyway, speedo works, so that's cool. Just gotta get a new speedo cable. All right, another thing on the list. All right, I'm gonna kind of be doing stuff in a random order, as I said earlier, of things that I think I'm gonna need to order. So that's why we're just jumping to random thing, to random thing, to random thing. I've upgraded my time. Went into the house and unlocked my truck so I can use this thing. Boy, just quite in there. Just come out. There we go. Fender. Now what? Might have to start moving on to things that I do have in stock. What is this? There's like another key welded in there. It's supposed to lock the steering or something? Where are you? It is. There it goes. I do believe it's a steering lock. Oh, look at that. Never known that was there. And the fact that it works too, and I didn't have to put any juice in it. Huh, the spring even started working. No way. All right, back at it another day on the old Honda. I'll try and tackle the ancient tires on this thing. Let the air out of this, take the valve stem out. Boy, that's some old air. Damn. That's what the 70s smells like, apparently. Well, I don't think I've ever successfully undone a tire before. I somehow don't have a pry bar. So I've got a chisel punch thing, a scraper, and a screwdriver. I figured I'd start with these anyway. If we need to go a little more crazy, we can. Now these rims are not in the best condition, so I'll say I am not overly worried about them. Jesus. Getting somewhere. There's a chunk of metal in the screwdriver. I think I'm getting the hang of it now. Yep. Think I'm getting the hang of it, fortunately. Alright, so here's the idiot way I did it. Got the tube in, use some soap, jammed her down in there, and yeah, there's a tire now. Well, there we have it. There's one of those tires. You know, there was no indicator mark on what direction it's supposed to go. No arrow, at least not one that I noticed anyway. Got the valve stem kind of by the mark. I didn't see a red dot either. Must just be a street tire thing. I'm thinking so. See, trail tire. So, I don't know. Hopefully it's not too mad on the asphalt. Give it a little bounce, pretty good. I didn't do anything, but it moves very little. That's pretty good. We're just chucking it on there, I think. I think the next thing I want to tackle is this triple tree. That's what they call it. This thing is El Dunzo'd on both sides. That's terrifying. So we'll get that done. I think doing that, we'll take this bracket off at the same time. I need to weld it. Right there, you see somebody tried to bugger weld it one time. So, gonna weld that. We'll take this off. I'll take it to my dad's. I can go weld that on. Yeah, but I think let's start taking this piece off. Like I said, I already have it. Alright, got it looking all nice and sad like. Anyway, so we gotta pop this nut off. Alright, I got the I am no longer asking nicely gun after watching some videos. They just jiggle it right off. You don't whack that, so just pretend I didn't hit that with a hammer. Anyway, yeah, we got the old please leave gun. We're gonna give her hell because I don't need this piece anymore. Dang. It wakes up the neighbors. It's fine. They love it. Nope. Oh. Damn. There she goes. Just needed the beans over there. Simply remove the triple tree, the triple clamp. Just put two dissimilar metals right next to each other. Nothing will go wrong. Don't open that. There's bearings in there. All right. That was cool. Kind of see the witness mark there. This side looks fine. That went where it's supposed to, but this side, it's up a little higher. But I don't know. Not sure what's going on. I think there's fingerprints on you guys. Great. Okay, a few days later, got a handful of parts in. Got a new master cylinder, importantly. This is most importantly, but importantly. Got a new master cylinder. So I think, well, I put the new master cylinder on. I got a complete cable set. So one of these throttle cables doesn't work. I think it's the pull one obviously works, but the push cable doesn't work. It's a pull push style, or push pull rather. So we'll get this off. We'll split this apart, run the new cables down to the carburetors, which will be a whole thing in themselves. So yeah, basically we're just gonna get right into it today. Okay, so here's a look in here. So this upper cable is the one that was the only one working, which is this cable on the outside. So right here. So this is the cable that was working, and this one's gone in there, even though the other bun is down there. So yeah, when we turn it to give it throttle, that's the only one that's moving. And obviously I disconnected it, so it's not going to return. But I figured I'd just show how that's hooked up there, and this bottom one's just hanging down there. So I'm not going to have to take any of these off. We're just going to get in here and loosen these jam nuts here. We'll pop this cable off, both of them rather, and then we'll follow where exactly, oops, see, so they go under here, and they're a little, that's why I'm changing them. They're a little beat up, and it looks like just up through there. So just right along here, undo them there, and yeah, I'm gonna take these off because I did get new intake manifolds or runners, or there's so many different names for these. See, these are FUBAR. So I got two new of those. Yeah, I'm gonna do these cables first. I'm gonna undo them, then I'll do these boots. Let me put everything back on, then I'll do the cables. Okay, so got these new cables in there. Got them all installed and tightened up and whatever you want to call it. But I was going through tensioning them, getting them set right. And I found the best way to do it is to get these close, or at least get them to what your stock cables looked like anyway. So I did exactly that. And then make sure you're steering full lock, or whatever full tension would be on your cables. So like those ones are wrapped around here and they're super tight. I mean, not super tight. They're, they're away from the frame. You get what I mean. But they're pulled tight essentially. And I had gotten it perfect, and I turned the wheel. I turned the bars to the right, and the throttle got stuck. Got stuck open. And that's obviously not what you want. After that, adjust this one. This is the one you'll want to do. Okay, got the new master cylinder installed. I guess let's see if the
lines are clogged. I'm going to slowly burp all the bubbles out of the master. Yeah, I'd say we got a clogged brake line somewhere. She ain't moving. Oh, looks like a little bit of goo in there, but there's no brake fluid in there, so that means it's not making it past that first solid line there, or soft line. So it's not coming from here down, apparently, because it should have fluid in there. Because I can see past that little gummy spot. You can see it's clean-ish in there anyway. So I guess I'll spray that down with brake fluid, or brake cleaner, see if anything comes out of that one. Maybe it'll start working after that. I did clean this up. Just hosed it down once and it cleaned up pretty good. Who knows if it works yet? Guess we'll find out. But yeah, I'm gonna hose that down in there, get this cleaned out, and hopefully it starts working. Okay, we've got a development. Got brown coming out of it. Coming out of that one. Yeah. It was all plugged up. So I stuck a wire in it. That wire right there. And that freed it up. So it was all kind of plugged in right around here. Okay, it's got the front end as done as I can get. Got master cylinder on, got the mirror back on, got new to me fender on, got the brakes that I'm going to change out because the bleeder's all screwed up. I got tires on the ground. It does actually work surprisingly. It just doesn't return very well, but I'm gonna get a new one obviously because we're not screwing around with that. The only reason I went to the trouble of installing it was to make sure the brake lines are going to work, and specifically this pressure switch. But I've got a wheel cylinder on order, so I'm going to order that, get some pads I think. Remember, I'm trying to get this inspected because it still could come back stolen. So I'm really trying to put as little as I can into it right now to get it to pass. Like, they're not going to know that I'm using old brake pads. That's why I'm putting very minimal into this, as little money as possible, in case it does come back up stolen and I have to get rid of it, which hopefully I don't have to. Okay, see if it fits. Somehow looks thinner than the factory one. Unless I'm mistaken, and the 0.6 is like the tallness of it. I thought it was the width. Could be wrong, probably am. Look at that. Motorcycle with new wheels. Tires, rather. Sorry. We got more parts. We got a headlight and the bezel. They're in pretty decent shape. It's maybe a little
rounded at that corner. Looks like a headlight to me, but does it work? That's the real question. On. On. Hey! Brights. Also work. Nice. You can feel the heat coming off of that thing. Woo!
Well, I figured we'd move on to the tank here. And you can see a weld around where the petcock is what's leaking. Take a look at this friggin' tank. I mean, it is El Pristino in there, huh? This tank is good. There's hardly any rust in there. There's the petcock area over there on the bottom left of the screen. Or bottom right, actually. Anyway, I don't see how it could be leaking. No, it does look a little strange over there. Trying to get the camera to focus. There we go. Not quite sure what's going on there, but there's definitely plenty of metal to weld to.
Alright, so here's the plan. We got two test lights. One going into whatever the brake circuit is, and one going into whatever the taillight circuit is. And then the ground wire is right here, and they're both hooked to that. So, theoretically, when we press the brakes, one of them should turn on, and when we turn the headlights on, one should turn on, obviously. So yeah, see if that works. Leave the keys on. Start with the headlights, that's the funnest. Hey, we got one. What one's that? That is the middle one, or the bottom one of the push together styles. Now, brakes. Oh wow, the hydraulic thing works too. That's the front brake. That works good. How about the lower brake? Hell yeah. It's stuck because that rod's broken. We got freaking lights. Okay. And then obviously the blinkers work. Yep. That hasn't changed. So brown is taillight, white is stop, and black is ground. Nice. Well, that was easy. Yeah, and the light works. Freaking, we're just winning over here. Okay, current plan. I've got two holes here. Got a 13/64 drill bit, and I think we'll drill this. This is the same size as this bolt, and we'll tap threads into this, and that should, emphasis on the should hold. Oh God! If I don't break the light before we even get to that point. I heard WD-40 is a great cutting oil. It was a machinist joke. You're not supposed to use WD-40. Yes. Plenty of meat. I mean, they even tap their own screws in these. Granted, they're jutted out of the back, but like I said, will it pass inspection? Probably. She's all installed and tightened up. That should be tail lights. It looks like a tail light to me. Should be brake lights. Sweet. See how bright it is. I haven't even tested the headlight either yet. See how bright or dim it is. Oh yeah. See what high does. Oh yes. Yeah, there just moves the beam up. That is all. All right.
well, the new wheel cylinder came in, or the new caliper. So I took this off, and let's try and get this pad out. And they say you do that just by pumping the brake, and it will allow, it'll just push itself apart. This one doesn't leak at all, which is crazy. Dang, there's a lot of meat on that. There it goes. There she is. Oh yeah. He's a little cruddy in here, that's for sure. Okay, I got the new caliper set up in the vise. You got a seal and a piston. That's all you need. This one came with the new bleed screw and the bleed screw cap, and that was the whole kit. So that was nice. Piston goes in this way, looking at the bike over there. You'll need some sort of lubrication. I'm just going to use brake fluid because that's what it says to use. I think I'll probably lube it after, actually. Try and snag this guy in there. Okay, there we go. Now we can take a little bit of brake fluid, coat the seal with it, lubricate it slightly. There she is. Looking good. Then we got this plastic ring that went on, got the pad all cleaned up. Looks nice and new. This ring went right here, just like that. There we have it. That is that done. That was simple. So apparently this bar is just going to come off by removing this bolt. Hopefully that side works now. Get off of here, you ridiculous looking thing. That looks better. Okay, got the tank on. Fuel line's hooked up. Hopefully, when I put some gas in here, it's not going to leak. That would be ideal, obviously. I should have tested that first, but it didn't. Hopefully we can add more than half a gallon of gas for the first time in forever and find another leak. Okay, that's good enough. We don't need to use all the gas. I think we're dialed. Okay, one last thing we need to do before we can officially say it's done is I had snapped where'd it go? I snapped the brake rod, trying to get the little adjuster wheel off. So I ordered a new one on eBay. This is off a Cl350, so it's got a different brake system. Got this. Only we need to do is pull that pin out, and this whole thing is the exact same, so that'll work. Yeah, other than that, it's good to go. I just took that one off already. It's kind of hard to get to. There's the lever right there. That pin goes, right through there, and then it just runs out back to here. And this came with all the pieces I need because I didn't have this part, but I had everything else. So yeah. Okay. See how these new tires do. Hopefully I got a decent enough air pressure. It definitely sits higher, that's for sure. Brakes are working. We don't got gas leaking.
first gear is quite fast, I must say. So, got it wrapped up, and Joe showed up. He wanted to take it for a rip. And I said, if somebody's gonna crash it, might as well do it now. So, here's a coldish start. It's sort of warm, but
ran for about 13 seconds. So.
yes. No. Anyway.
Oh yeah, she's mint.
Got a little chop to her.
Yeah, it clears up when it gets hot, unfortunately.
Hear it?
Yeah.
Kind of like weird.
It is weird, isn't it? It's like heavy, but not.
That's exactly like I want to like feel like I could throw it around like a dirt bike, but
Yeah.
you go to like lean into it and it doesn't.
It's just like, wait, I'm a heavy bike. The dog likes it.
Anyway, but that's it. I do want to fix the exhaust because
It's got, they put two different style baffles on it, so it sounds really dumb in my opinion. One side's loud, one side's not. So, what do you think of it so far?
She's mint.